Hello, YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode of The Grandstand here on the Ohio Patriot Education Network YouTube channel. I'm, as always, your host, Air the Ohio Patriot. And for today's episode, we're going to talk about policing in America and why Brandon Herrera must contest Tony Gonzales' quote-unquote win last night in District 23 there in Texas. Mostly due to the fact that there's no fucking way that Tony Gonzales didn't cheat his ass off to get that fucking so-called win, when it's literally less than 500 votes between the two of those men. And the fact that you also have Texas having open primaries and stuff like that, and I'm pretty sure this runoff was also considered an open primary at that point, which allowed Democrats to run in there and fucking vote for Gonzales' bitch ass is what it is. So, yeah, it ain't right, dude. Like, there's no fucking way that this asshole Gonzales won legitimately is what it was. Like, there's definitely some fuckery going on there for sure, 100%. And what's even more ridiculous is that you also had, just like everything else that went on in the last 24 hours or so, too, as well in that one, you had Herrera winning, like, I think it was, like, more than half the fucking districts. Like, more than half the areas in the district was there. Yeah, because when you actually look at the overall results, here's what it is. It was, let's see if it pulls over here now. Yeah, it was Herrera, 14,616. Gonzales, 15,023. So that's like right around 400. It's like 407 votes or something, if I'm not mistaken. And the fact that supposedly this whole area here has like 300,000 to 400,000 people or more in it, and you had less than 30,000 fucking people come out and vote, dude. Are you kidding me? Now, granted, if the majority of those people in that district are like, you know, children or teenagers or something like that under the age of 18, obviously they can't vote legally. Or maybe it's a bunch of illegals in that area, who the fuck knows? Because it is a border town and stuff like that. But the entire point is, it's like, yeah, you would think having like several 100,000 people there, dude, and you got like not even like 10% of them come out to vote. Are you kidding me, bro? So, I don't know. It just feels very fucking shady in general. And not to mention the fact there's supposedly ads being run by Gonzales' camp and stuff like that to basically say, hey, if you're a Democrat, come out and vote for me because fuck this gun rights guy over here, Brandon Herrera. And not only that, but then he also called Herrera supposedly a Nazi on fucking live TV in like a Fox News interview or something like that's what it was, dude. So that alone, Brandon has the ability to like libel lawsuit the shit out of this fucking asshole, as he should at this point. But I'm gonna call that right now, dude. Like, Brandon Herrera, do your job, dude. Contest the shit out of this fucking primary is what it is. Like, you definitely won, dude. We know you fucking won for 100%. Contest that fucking shit. Demand a hand recount. Demand a hand recount and demand fucking election integrity at this point, for real. Because that's the only way that we take this fucking country back, dude, is with these kind of things. And if you don't do that, dude, it just shows that you're a fucking punk-ass bitch, honestly. And I'll call you a punk-ass bitch after this if you don't contest this fucking primary results. Especially when the fact that Tony couldn't even get 50% of the vote in the actual primary itself, like weeks ago or not months ago, if I'm not mistaken, it was back in like what, like March or something of this year. And he had to force this runoff to where you got within like literally cunt hairs of this motherfucker at this point, supposedly. And that's not including the fact that you actually had admitted the other day that this dude was trying to fuck over your poll watchers in one of the bigger areas there that had like several thousand people voting on it and stuff like that. You can't tell me there's not a way that they could have shifted 400 or 500 votes, honestly, at that point, man. And that's what I'm saying. Like, how the hell are you going to have, like, I don't know how Texas works, honestly, if it's like 1% of the vote or what it is, dude, but it's like, to me, my opinion personally on the whole thing, if you have a contest that fucking close to where it's less than 1,000 votes separating the two people, there needs to be automatic recount at that point. If there's not, it's fucking bullshit, dude, entirely. And if there's not an automatic recount, there needs to be a fucking contested recount. That is what it is. From Herrera's side, because this is some bullshit, dude. Brandon Herrera should at minimum right now be in the race in the general election for Congress come November. Not that bitch ass Tony Gonzales is an incumbent. Especially when the motherfucker has like not only pushed for gun control in Gonzales' ass, he has also, as of like a week ago, tried to fucking side for more gun control in this country. And it's like, bro, like, how is that alone not an automatic booting from office under the U.S. Constitution at this point? When you are openly swearing oath the Constitution the day you take office in this country, and then you're openly oath breaking to fuck people's rights over, and push for more horseshit gun control, and then pass like garbage like the fucking bipartisan civil communities got garbage from fucking Biden and company back in Uvalde a couple years ago. Which, by the way, I'll talk about that every day, man. Biden and them, they fucking committed Uvalde, dude, is what it is. They 100% were behind that fucking false flag attack, is what it is. They did it for one reason only. They allowed a bunch of kids to be murdered so they could pass fucking gun control in this country. End of fucking story. Anybody that says any different is a fucking liar. Especially when there's all kinds of fuckery going around with that whole thing, dude. Especially with the fact you have 4 years before 2022, 2018, there was a 14-year-old kid that said in 2022 he wanted to do a fucking Columbine and stuff like that. They could have easily had the feds have 4 years to fucking groom this kid to do that stuff. Not to mention the fact you had the fucking cops being able to run after this asshole within like a minute or two, and they didn't immediately like fucking keep going after his ass then. They stopped like a bunch of bitches in the fucking hallway and then just let this asshole fucking go into a classroom and murder a bunch of kids then? Are you fucking kidding me, bro? Like, unless you're giving direct stand-down orders to be like, oh yeah, just let it happen, bro. No, you're going to fucking rush your ass in there and fucking take this motherfucker out is what it's going to be. The thing is, too, like, the kids are what, like, yay high? This fucking asshole's like up here, dude. Just fucking shoot high is what it is. Like, how fucking hard is that, man? Seriously, you just run across the fucking thing and hopefully hit his ass is what it is then. If nothing else, you fuck him up enough, or you do enough fucking damage there or whatever it is then, to where the guy's like all fucked up or whatever the case be and shit, and then you just throw some fucking smoke and shit in there is what it is or something, dude. Now, granted, people would have said, oh yeah, they're tear gassing the kids or whatever the case be, or like smoking the kids out or whatever the case be, but it's like, okay, at least they're saving those kids' lives, you know? At least you're not standing there for fucking 70 plus minutes letting these fucking kids be killed and hearing their fucking screams while they're dying and shit. Which leads us into the whole policing in America part of this episode, which I just watched a couple minutes of a Yankee Marshal video the other day that he posted a couple days ago as I was here. And it was him basically talking about either going on other people's chats or bringing them on his chat or something like that to talk about his stance on policing in America and stuff like that and how he hates the cops, I guess is what it is. So, and I'm not going to sit here and say I'm a fucking fan of the cops myself because I'm not, honestly, especially not the feds anymore after that federal swatting happened to me 5 years ago. But the entire point is I'm also not going to sit here and say, oh yeah, all cops are bastards or something like that, or all cops are dickheads, or whatever it is then. Because there are good police out there as well. There are good police out there. There's a lot of bad police out there. There's a lot of people who shouldn't even be in policing in this country. Hell, look at the fucking guys who killed Tyree Nichols, for God's sakes. Like, that's a great example right there, dude. You had these two fucking douchebags who were part of that Scorpion unit who failed the fucking tests multiple times before that and were disqualified from the fucking police department there in that city because they were fucking convicted felons is what it was. And then all of a sudden, you had fucking dumbass fucking 2020 happen. You had all these fucking retarded leftists out here being all like, oh, we gotta defund the cops now. And then it lowered the fucking standards like 2 or 3 times enough to where these dickheads that were convicted felons were able to finally pass the fucking shit is what it was to become cops there is what it is. And they were a fucking gang unit, dude, legitimately. Like, they're supposed to be a gang task force, but no, they were an actual gang unit in the police is what it was. Going around neighborhoods and fucking people up and shit like that is what it was, dude. I swear to God, like, half of these people that go into policing anymore in this country, dude, watch The Shield one too many times and model themselves after Vic Mackey's character in that show. Or like that whole unit is what it is then. To be corrupt as fuck is what it is then. And that's the problem with authority entirely. It's like, you know, when you give something absolute power, it can be corrupted absolutely is what it is. You know, absolute power corrupts absolutely. Legitimately, dude. That's what it is at the end of the day. And it's always been that way. You know? You should always question authority. You should always question government integrity. You should always question anything like that, dude, is what it is. Especially when they're coming to do shit in your best interest, yet they're fucking you over every chance they get, what it is then. You know, whether that be policing, whether that be, you know, United States fucking government, you know, Congress, Senate, presidency, all that stuff like that is what it is. Even at state levels, for that matter. It's like when people are sitting there, you know, blowing smoke up your ass and being like, oh yeah, we're not pro gun control, and you're sitting there having fucking talks on gun control is what it is next day or something. which, like I said, I had that discussion last week is what it was with the whole thing here in Ohio, where it's, I guess they set some arbitrary date every General Assembly where if you put a fucking stupid-ass piece of legislation in place before that, it has to be heard at least once before the end of that General Assembly happens, which is so fucking dumb because it's like, again, when you're talking about stuff that directly defies the Second Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, something they've all sworn out to uphold, like, no, just kick these fucking people out of the General Assembly, dude. They're pushing this shit. Whether it be that idiot Bernard Willis, or, wait. Sorry, not Bernard Willis. Willis Blackshear Jr. Bernard Willis is a different guy. He's a Republican in the state. Yeah, I confused Willis with Willis, what it was. Yeah. Willis Blackshear Jr. is the fucking scumbag Democrat who's trying to do the mass casualty weapons BS. Here's what it is, which, thank God, it seems like that's dead in the water right now. It fucking better be, because I swear to fucking God, if I have to go down to my state house here in the next 6 months and actually testify against this crap, I'm going to be ripping everybody a new asshole. Metaphorically and possibly physically. Because it's gotten to that point, man. Like, I'm going to be chewing their asses out, honestly, for sure. 100%. So, anyway. But yeah, it's a bunch of crap all the way around, dude. And then, like I said, the real problem with policing in America is, I think the real problem with a lot of people's, like, view of policing in America is because they have interactions with, like, one, maybe two PDs in their entire lives is what it is for the most part. Because that's the thing, right? If you live in, like, a major city in this country, you're going to have interactions with whatever cops are the ones that patrol the beat, which is your area, your, you know, blocks and stuff like that that you live in and stuff like that is what it is there. So if you live in, like, the projects or whatever the case be, in, like, this little, like, Section 8 housing unit or whatever it is there, it's going to be whatever police fucking patrol that place or whatever the case be is. Or it's like, yeah, if you live on, you know, this section of blocks right here, it's like whatever they fucking patrol there is what it is. Then you're going to have these, you know, 2 to 6 cops, give or take, that are going to be your total interaction with law enforcement in this country is what it is. And so, of course, if those 2 or 6 cops are going to be a bunch of dickheads, you know, and a bunch of fucking scumbags towards you and your family and shit like that, or your friends, whatever it is, then, of course, it's how you're going to view policing in this nation. Yet, meanwhile, you could have some dude out in rural America being, like, the nicest police officer you've ever met, honestly. And you have, like, a perfect interaction with that guy. So, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not completely, like, a whole thing where there's, like, dickheads everywhere is what it is. It just happens to be there's a lot of dickheads in Democrat-run cities in this fucking country. Which, that's kind of on the voters on that one, because you're the ones voting these dickhead mayors, these dickhead city councils into fucking office, to where they're picking these dickhead police chiefs and stuff like that, and the dickhead police chiefs are hiring the biggest fucking dickheads they can find is what it is, man. So, you know, what do you really expect, people? Like, blame yourself, for real. You know? Like, at some point, the blame's got to go back on you as a voter, man. And God forbid you're not voting, then that's even worse. Then it's definitely on you for not even fucking voting to get these fucking assholes out of office is what it is then, dude. So, yeah, it's a whole thing, man. But I don't know anymore. It's just people just wanting to be stupid, I think is what it is, man. And when you have jackassery being jackasses is what it is. Then, of course, you got Yankee himself just being a complete jackass. Walking in the Chaz about, what was it, roughly 4 years ago now almost. Like 3.5, give or take. A little bit over that, maybe. I want to say it was, I forget when the Chaz actually existed there in Seattle, Washington. I want to say it was like August of 2020, maybe. Or was it maybe July of 2020? I can't remember offhand. It was about a month or so that it existed for, give or take. And yeah, you had Yankee walk in there and was like, oh yeah, check this fucking place out. And then got bitch slapped by some Antifa member over some pin he was wearing that they thought was like a pro-cop pin. That was funny. I'm surprised Yankee hasn't tried it again, though. One of these other Chazes that keeps popping up everywhere around America right now with all these encampments at college campuses and stuff like that, dude. Actually, the one thing I think is hilarious, by the way, is these same assholes that don't believe in, like, you know, freedom and liberty and stuff like that. These Antifa types, these BLM types, etc. They're the ones doing these college campus encampments and stuff like that. You know, pro-Palestine terrorism and stuff like that's what relays there at the end of the day. Like, they'll sit there and be all like, oh yeah, fuck the cops, fuck borders and stuff like that. Yet, what is the first thing they always do when they do this stuff? They enact border security. They create like basically a wall, and they have armed security at the fucking wall. Is what it is, dude. So if you want to talk about hypocrisy, like that's the ultimate hypocrisy right there, honestly, of these asswipes. Because they'll sit there and be all like, "Oh yeah, we're for open borders," and then meanwhile, when it comes to their own safety and security and stuff like that, they're totally for fucking closed borders and stuff like that. Is what it is. So yeah, it's a bunch of fucking jackassery for sure. And then as Matt was showing earlier, you had that guy who was driving on a suspended license and doing a Zoom meeting with the cops there, dude. So that was pretty funny. There's some other stuff that's popped up since then, obviously. Talk about a couple things here, actually, because we got a bunch of different article headlines here that I want to discuss a few things of as well in this episode before I get off here. So we got this one, which is man attending court for suspended license case attends hearing on Zoom while driving. And you can tell when the guy like realizes he fucked up because he's like, ah, shit. Because he was told to basically give himself up that day by 6 o'clock, or he was going to get a bench warrant out for his arrest. And that's what it was. And he's just like, motherfucker. Because I think he just fucked up and didn't realize like he was that stupid is what it is. So, and of course, you got fuckface Biden being a racist and a lying sack of shit yet again. So we got Biden again claims he got involved in the civil rights movement as a kid, twice during disastrous stop at black-owned business. Handlers crank music to avoid questions. Then we got massive 70% of majority, 70% majority of voters say America is out of control under Biden's bullshit administration. Then we got Biden panders to blacks in Philly Jazz Club. We're rebuilding a 60 zillion bridge in Baltimore. The fuck? The fuck kind of racist shit is that, dude? Fucking clown ass. Then we got, did you fall on your head? Angry Biden snaps at reporter for asking if he will serve his full term or hand over power to Kamala Harris. Jesus. And of course, you got North Korea doing all kinds of commie shit. Launch hundreds of excrement-filled, which would be shit-filled, balloons at South Korea. Regime calls it a gift of sincerity. And of course, you got fuckstick Michelle Wu, Boston mayor, supports ending prosecution of criminals for theft and breaking and entering. How the fuck is this woman still in the mayor's office is my question, dude. How is she not being brought up in the last 4 years for crimes against humanity based on the fact that she literally pushed fucking death jabs on people, man? So that alone should be brought up on fucking Nuremberg trials, honestly. Not to mention the fact she's doing this shit now. Like, honestly, I would not be surprised in the least if she was coming to her very soon in this country if our fucking society starts collapsing like it's going to, I believe, into this tribalistic warfare / civil wars that's going to happen pretty soon. So, but yeah, it's just fucking nuts is what it is, dude. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Then we got shithead Jill Biden, aka Joe's first handler, makes silly prediction on debates, claiming, my husband, you're going to see how smart he is, and then you'll see someone who can't put a sentence together. Yeah, that is your husband, you dumb bitch. Is someone who can't fucking string a sentence together because he's got fucking multiple dementia / Alzheimer's issues. But you're too fucking stupid to actually just let it go, bitch. Seriously, at what point is Jill Biden and other people held physically and legally, criminally liable for literally pushing a man who clearly is not physically, mentally fit for office into doing stuff? How is that not elder abuse at that point, dude? Seriously. It just blows my mind. It just absolutely blows my mind right now. Oh, Jesus. We got Biden campaign brings out Elmo to warm up crowd in Philadelphia. Good God. Fuck. Then we got this one that's pretty interesting. It was Texas AG Ken Paxton talking about to Steve Bannon. I'm telling you, they are the Gestapo. They are organized crime. They're evil. Says courageous Ken Paxton calls for dismantling the corrupt FBI. They've lost their credibility. I could have told you that 5 years ago, and they federally swatted my ass, dude. So Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton to Steve Bannon in the War Room to discuss the Texas primary election results on Tuesday. Paxton celebrated the victory of 24 of 25 pro-MAGA candidates in Texas GOP primaries last night. Paxton also called for an end of the open primary in Texas after Democrats were able to win out seats for rhino candidates like controversial Texas Speaker Dade Phelan, which again, that's why you need to fucking immediately say, hey, this shit's null and void, fuck you. It's fucking goddamn Democrats fucking people shit is what it is there. Yeah, Texas Rhino House Speaker Dade Phelan prevails in primary election thanks to Democrats, defeats Trump-endorsed candidate by 366 votes. Yeah, seriously, dude, what the fuck? So you had Herrera getting fucked out of his primary by like 400-something votes, and you got fucking piece of shit Dade winning his stuff by 366. How is it not an automatic fucking hand recount, dude? Where literally every fucking Democrat voter at that point is just tossed the fuck out of the race is what it is then, dude. Like, seriously, how hard would that be, dude? Just be like, oh, sorry, this asshole's going to vote Democrat come the election cycle in November. Fuck them then. They're out of the fucking... Their vote doesn't count then. Fuck that. Close primary, bitch. Like, seriously. It's fucking ridiculous what it is, dude. Dade's forehead looks like a real-life Beavis or Butthead. I'm not sure which one it is at this point, dude. Look at that guy's fucking gigantic-ass forehead. Like, he seriously looks like a real-life, like an older-ass Beavis or older Butthead or something like that is what it is, dude. I can't tell which. But he definitely looks like Beavis or Butthead as an adult is what it would be then. The only thing I can hope is that hopefully Texas is smart and doesn't let this douchebag ever retain power in the speaker's office ever again then. Because it's just like here in Ohio with that sack of shit Jason Stevens, dude. Like, Jason Stevens and Dade Phelan are both fucking assholes and need to be kicked out of office right now is what it is then. Anyway, continuing back on with the rest of this article, though, says Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton then went on to describe the depths of corruption in the U.S. Department of Justice and FBI. Says AG Paxton was quoted as saying, "This is what happened to me 3.5 years ago. Actually, I got a referral from the Travis County District Attorney to investigate the FBI and Department of Justice for corruption for violating state and federal law. I started that process only to find that the FBI knew about it before I did. So they knew about the referral before I did, and they were already in my office threatening people and scaring the heck out of all of them. And so that's how the whole coup in my office happened. It was over that issue because I told my staff, we are investigating them. I don't care what they do to us. If we can't stand up to the FBI and Department of Justice when they are committing crimes, and they are committing crimes, if I could have finished this investigation, we would have found it and we would have at least exposed it, even though we would have had to get authority to prosecute it. So I guarantee you, they don't follow any rules anymore. They don't follow the Constitution. It's really hard to hold them accountable when they could turn an investigation on me, my investigation to them, and it went into an investigation on me. And that's exactly what happened to me." To which Steve Bannon then said, "Hang on, I want to go back and hit rewind on this. We're sitting here in this day after the historic runoff that came from a historic primary, that came from historic impeachment. That's because that's basically brought to us the attention of people how the Bush establishment still runs Texas." That was the whole point, by the way, is that Paxton himself, when he was actually running for the AG's office, I think it was this last election cycle in like 2022 or whatever the case be, he was actually running against a Bush, I forget if it was the son of Jeb Bush or if it was the grandson of like George W. Bush. I forget which one it was. Either way, yeah, I think it was Jeb's son, if I'm not mistaken. It was like George P. Bush the third or fourth, or whatever it was there, and who had ties to Dade, by the way, and a bunch of other fucking Texas Rhino Sacks of shit. There's what it is, and that's exactly why the whole Paxton investigation opened up. Is what it was there, dude, was because these fucking assholes wanted Bush the third, fourth, whatever the fuck it was in there to groom his ass for eventual presidential run. Is what it was, and easily Paxton beat his ass in the fucking primaries. What it was then. Now, granted, from my understanding of people who live in Texas, they're not really a fan of Ken Paxton that much as well, because they even think the guy's a fucking scumbag. But that's besides the point entirely. It is what it is. He's the AG of the fucking state at this point in time in history. He's done a good job, honestly, at least from what I've seen as an outsider here in Ohio, like looking into Texas is what it is there. And especially when you have like pro-gun stuff going everywhere and, lawsuits being filed and stuff like that left and right, it seems like Paxton is the one at the forefront of these in a lot of cases and stuff like that to lead the fucking charge, which is good, obviously. And that does, show me that the guy's at least, semi respecting his oath to the Constitution is what it is there. Unlike a lot of these other fucking sacks of shit out there is what it is then. So, now granted, I could be totally wrong on that one, but yeah, Dade for sure is a fucking dickhead though. So, anyway, let's see where we're at with Bannon here. Yeah, sorry, fucking eyes are all fucking up on me right now. Oh, Jesus Christ, what the fuck? A little bit of water out of my cup here and do a little. All right. Yeah, so Bannon said, day after historic runoff that came from historic primary, came from historic impeachment that's basically brought to the attention of people how the Bush establishment still runs Texas. Although it's a mega state, you're saying that this all began years before when you got information that you should start an investigation of the FBI or had to start an investigation of the FBI, and then they came immediately knowing beforehand. Paxton said, so I track it down, and I'm told by my head of law enforcement, top guys, we're not investigating them. I said, why? And they said, because law enforcement cannot commit a crime. What the fuck? And I said, what do you mean? We don't investigate law enforcement because it's not possible for them to commit a crime. That was what I was told by David Maxwell, who was head of law enforcement for the AG's office. There's what it sounds like. I said that I went to my first assistant and said, we got to fire that guy. And he goes, I can't. I said, why? He said, because he threatened me. And he said, if I did what you want me to do, if I investigated them, they're going to come after me like the FBI and Department of Justice are going to come after you. That's when the guys in my office filed a complaint against me saying I had committed a federal crime, but they never said what it was. Yeah, that's fucked up, dude. He goes on from there, but yeah, the whole thing is just completely fucked, dude. So fucked up, man. Again, it just shows the criminality of the fucking federal government at this point, dude. And why every single offered agency across the fucking nation right now needs to be fucking null and void right now. For real. Especially, and you would think too, by the way, that, Federal Bureau of Investigation, right? They would be, I don't know, investigating how much fucking Chinese government is buying up U.S. farmland. Look at that shit, man. That's a fuckload of fucking farmland, dude. That includes the state of Ohio, includes the state of Texas, includes California, Oregon, Washington State, bunch of other states here too, for that matter. Pennsylvania, Indiana, Maine. Yeah, pretty much everywhere, dude. What it is. Hawaii. Fucking ridiculous what it is, dude. Yeah, so according to USDA, Chinese primary investors, filers reportedly own 346,915 acres of agricultural land as of December 31st, 2022. Says two Chinese-owned companies, Brazos Highland Properties LP and Murphy Brown Inc. LLC, aka Smithfield Farms, reported 102,345 acres and 97,975 acres, respectively, and were by far the largest Chinese reporters. So it's nice to know that Smithfield Farms is actually China then, dude. So that's interesting to note right there, honestly. So the other top Chinese-owned reporters were Murphy Brown of Missouri. It's interesting because you look up Murphy Brown, that would be the TV show, I believe, right? Yeah, starring Candace Bergen back in the 80s. Apparently China loves Murphy Brown, I guess. AKA Smithfield Farms. Had 42,716 acres. Harvest Texas LLC had 29,705 acres. And Walton International Group USA Inc. had 29,437 acres. It said these five companies accounted for 87% of all Chinese-owned holdings. There were no filings directly by the government of China. Chinese investments in U.S. agricultural land are spread across the country. Yeah, it's so fucking bullshit, dude, is what it is. And there's the amount they own in every state, is what it is right now. So, yeah, they own 334,000 acres in Ohio. Or, sorry. Wait. Is that? Wait, that would be 0 to 1,000, though, right? Sorry, it'd be 334 acres in Ohio. This is as of 2022, by the way, so this is a lot. This is outdated for sure, obviously. At that time, though, they owned 159,640,000 acres in Texas, though. 13,848,000 in Florida, 49,050 in North Carolina, 540,000 in Virginia. Yeah, it's fucking insane, dude. It's absolutely psychotic, is what it is. 198,000 in Oregon, 7,000 in Texas, 6,500 in fucking Washington State, 43,000 some change in Missouri. It's fucking nuts, dude. So as of 2024, several U.S. states have enacted or in the process of enacting laws that restrict or ban foreign ownership of land. These states have primarily targeted countries perceived as national security threats. Here's a list of 24 states with such regulations: Alabama, Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, Idaho, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Louisiana, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, North Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, and Washington State. I know Ohio right now we haven't not done ours yet. We are in the process of doing ours right now, which it depends if that fucking idiot Jason Stevens allows us to actually have floor votes this year on it or not, which you fucking need to at this point, honestly, dude. Because there's been several pieces of legislation to ban private ownership in the state of Ohio, is what it is then, from foreign nationals / countries like China. So, yeah, it absolutely blows me away, dude, that we even allowing this shit, dude. Because that's the thing, right? I, as an American citizen, can't make up some fucking group over in China, like some fucking LLC over in China, and have it buy up 100,000 fucking acres of farmland over there. So why the fuck can they buy anything in my goddamn state? It's fucking bullshit is what it is, dude. And a lot of it, again, going back to fucking the whole Ken Paxton Bush fucking establishment thing, there's what it is, dude. Fucking piece of shit George W. Bush is the exact goddamn reason why this shit's allowed to fucking go on. And so is the fucking father, George H.W. Bush, for that matter. Because those fucking cunts allowed for birth tourism in this country up into the 2000s, there was what it was, which was a bunch of fucking Chinese women at the time coming to America, 7, 8, 9 months pregnant. And then as soon as they got off the fucking plane, oh, I'm in labor now. And now all of a sudden they're fucking kids an American citizen by birth is what it is, dude. Even though they shouldn't be. They should be considered the fucking child of a foreign national. Period. Go fuck yourself. Go back to China, bitch. Because that's where your fucking kid's going to be a citizen of. Eat shit, ho. 14th Amendment does not apply to your fucking shithead child. Your fucking Chi-Com child, you stupid bitch. So. Anyway. Let's see what else we got here now. Jesus Christ. Oh, good fucking Lord, dude. So we got this one coming out now, which is Judge. Let's see if I can pull this up real quick now. Yeah, Judge who put transgender child rapist in women's prison nominated to U.S. District Court by Biden. Again, this bitch has no fucking authority anywhere, dude, because Biden's a goddamn cheater and can't fucking appoint anybody to anything. Seriously, every single appointment this motherfucker's made should be null and void at this point in history, dude. Under Marbury versus Madison 1803 is what it is. Not to mention a bunch of other fucking statutes on the books right now. I'll tell you what, the day that Trump gets back into office, if he does not immediately kick these fucking people out of the judgeships that Biden appointed them to, or AG's office, etc. there, dude, our country's totally fucked then. But yeah, it said, Judge who put transgender child rapist in women's prison has been nominated to the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of New York by piece of shit Biden. Judge Sarah Netburn has served as a magistrate judge for 12 years, has earned notoriety after moving William McLean, who now goes by Julie Justine Shelby, to a women's prison against the recommendations of the Bureau of Prisons. Okay, so here's my problem with that, right? So this judge is like, no, I'm going to move this person to a fucking women's prison. And the Bureau of Prisons is like, no, you're not. Like, we recommend you don't do that is what it is, dude. Like, how do you not have the authority to be like, no, fuck that bitch. This guy is a biological male. He's a fucking child rapist. First of all, why the fuck is William McLean still alive is my question, dude. Why was that dude not executed on the fucking spot at this point for raping kids, dude? Like, that's what I've been saying this whole fucking time for like years now is what it is, dude. Like, why are we letting fucking child molesters even live, dude? Like, this is exactly what we need one-strike laws in this country that include on-the-spot execution is what it is then. If you're going to molest children, you need to be fucking dead. It's that simple, dude. You need to be executed on the fucking spot is what it is there. And I will never derive, or how much I said now? Yeah, I will never dissuade from that fucking statement. These motherfuckers should be in the fucking ground. End of story. So, anyway. Because this bitch is at minimum pedo enable herself, if that be the case. She's probably a fucking pedophile herself, is my guess, honestly, dude. She fucking looks like every woman ever arrested in the child sex thing, honestly. And every single thing I've ever seen is what it is there, dude. So, this bitch actually reminds me of Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's, bottom bitch there. So, anyway, said William McLean served over 2 decades in prison for raping a 17-year-old girl, molesting a 9-year-old boy. He was arrested again in 2017 for distributing child pornography involving a young girl and an infant. Exactly, dude. On-the-spot executions. How fucking hard is that, people? Motherfucker should have been out of prison ever, dude, is what it is. Like, when he molested that fucking 9-year-old boy and raped that 17-year-old girl, he should have been killed on the fucking spot back then, dude. Seriously. So, Washington Post reports that under Biden's administration policy implemented in 2022, transgender women can be moved to a women's prison on a case-by-case basis based on whether a placement would ensure the inmate's health and safety and whether placement will present management or security problems. They're fucking biological males that have intact dicks, man. Why the fuck you put them in a women's prison, asshole? Unless you want to have a bunch of fucking kids through rape in the fucking prison system. Because that's what's happened already at this point. You've already seen that multiple times over. You saw that there was one guy in fucking Chicago or something like that happened there is what it was. Who was like, oh, let me move to women's prison because I'm a trans woman. And it was like 2 or 3 weeks later, there was like 4 women that got fucking raped. And then like 2 of them, like a couple months after that, were fucking pregnant with the guy's kids. And had to get abortions and stuff like that. It's fucked up, dude. And like, how is that not immediately you are fucking with the safety of female inmates, dude? Like, Jesus fucking Christ, man. Anyway, it says apology directed to transgender individuals. Own views with respect to his or her own safety must be given serious consideration. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Anyway, it says this fucking piece of shit pedo judge here, against the reasonable advice, decided to move a sexual predator to the Federal Medical Center, Carswell, which is a female prison in Texas. Says, quote, hypothetical concern that petitioner will hurt someone must be counterbalanced by the actual evidence that, quote, she has been assaulted and harassed in a men's facility, said this fucking piece of shit child molester, Sarah Netburn. Honorable my fucking ass, bitch. Most dishonorable fucking judge ever, you fucking whore. Says, wrote in her fucking dumbass decision. It says, during Sarah's confirmation hearing, Senator Ted Cruz grilled her ass on the decision. Said, so you took a 6'2" serial child rapist with male genitalia, and he said, you know, I'd like to be in a women's prison, and your answer was, that sounds great to me. Let me ask you something. The other women in that prison, do they have any rights? Judge remained unapologetic for the decision. Again, this is why we need automatic disbarment in this country. This is why every single one of these fucking pedo judges like that, dude, need to be brought up on fucking pedophile charges themselves, is what it is. I need to be sitting in prison right with those motherfuckers. Hell, this bitch should be sharing a fucking prison cell with William McLean, a.k.a. Julie Justine Shelby. Let's see what this asshole even looks like right now. Let's see. Inmate. Does it even show it? Okay, let's look up the other name then and see if that pops up anything. Doesn't seem to be procking anything yet. Huh. Okay, I'm going to see if I can... I'm going to grab that YouTube video here and see if I can find any... See if people talk about any photos here, is what it is or not. Okay, now it's just a... Kennedy grilling the shit out of this dumb bitch. Yeah, it's a bunch of bullshit, dude, entirely. It's so fucked up, man. Like, we are so fucked as a country right now. It's not even funny anymore. So... I'm about fucking hang out with these people, man. I swear to God. So. Then, of course, we got this one, which is Colorado. Goes full retard again. Colorado police plan to dispatch drones instead of officers for certain 911 calls. Yeah, because the drone's going to do jack shit, bro. Unless that drone's full of C4 or something like that. So, over a dozen law enforcement departments in Colorado are planning to dispatch drones instead of cops to respond to specific 911 calls. Denver Police Department and several other law enforcement agencies in Colorado plan to dispatch drones instead of officers in situations where drones can provide information about the incident before officers are called to the scene. Says Denver Post reported that in some cases the drone would be the only response to some incidents if an operator can determine from the air that officers don't need to respond. Says Sergeant Jeremiah Gates, who is in charge of the Arapahoe County Sheriff's Office, stated, "This really is the future of law enforcement at some point, whether we like it or not." No, that's just lazy ass police work, dude. Big fucking difference. Not surprising though, because you're probably one of these fucking dumbass diversity hires after the whole defund the police movement in 2020. So says quote, and then we got picture this: you call 911 and a drone comes whirring to your door instead of a cop. That could soon be reality along parts of Colorado's Front Range. Says per New York Post, several law enforcement agencies in Colorado, including Denver Police Department, are planning to start dispatching drones instead of cops, certain 911 calls. And then you got the whole feature thing there is what it is. At least 20 agencies in Colorado's Front Range already use drone technology for certain tasks like searching for missing persons, tracking fleeing suspects, mapping crime scenes, or overhead surveillance during SWAT operations. Now, see, that actually makes sense for those things, right? Like you take a drone up in the air and you search like a 20-mile radius above the fucking, the tree line or whatever the case be, because there's like a missing kid or a couple missing kids, whatever it is there. That makes sense for that one. That way you don't have people like go into swamps and like track the shit. And you can just be like, oh, they're over here now. And you have like an exact place to walk to is what it is then, instead of just, trudging through shit and having other people get fucked up then too. Like sprained ankles or broken legs, whatever it is there from the shitty ass terrain. And the whole tracking fleeing suspects things make sense too, as is mapping crime scenes and doing surveillance for, SWAT operations and stuff like that. Says now sheriff's offices consider using them to respond to more 911 or some 911 calls in situations where drones might be able to provide useful information from the location of an incident before cops are deployed there. It says police departments are not only ones using drones, criminals are using them too. Gateway Pundit reported in March that Georgia law enforcement agencies arrested 150 people for operating a drone-based operation that smuggled guns, drugs, and cell phones into Georgia prisons. So you mean literally what they did there was they were doing Samara Kingstown shit, which is what goes on in that fucking shit all the time. So not surprised at least by that one, dude. In fact, I'm surprised it doesn't happen more often, honestly, is what it is, dude. Yeah, let's see. It says Georgia law enforcement authorities in the months-long investigation titled Operation Skyhawk arrested 150 people for operating drone-based operation that smuggled guns, drugs, cell phones into Georgia prisons. Operation Skyhawk was a joint collaboration between FBI and Georgia Department of Corrections. It says during the raid, agents seized 87 drones used to drop contraband into Georgia prison yards, 22 weapons, 273 cell phones, and over $7 million worth of drugs. Jesus Christ, dude. So then the raids, agents arrested 150 people, including 8 Georgia Department of Corrections employees. So potentially you had COs that were part of this shit too. Fuck me, dude. How long ago was this actually? Oh, March of this year. Okay. March 30th this year, actually. So it was 2 months ago right now. First I'm hearing about this. So in their statement at the press conference, Georgia Governor Brian Kemp shared Georgia will not tolerate those who put our communities at risk by trafficking drugs, weapons, and contraband, both in and out of the correctional facilities. Said the months-long probe into the alleged drone-based contraband operation in Georgia's prisons has led to the arrest of 150 people, including 8 corrections officers. That makes sense, though, right? Because it would be the COs themselves, most likely, that were having the shit dropped into the thing, like in the prison yards where it was there, and they were going over and they were picking it up then probably. And then from there, it was on their person for about a minute or two until it went, like a balloon or whatever it was, went straight to a fucking prisoner then. And then that prisoner probably, up the ass or something like that. And it got fucking smuggled back to their dorm or whatever it was. And, about 10, 15 minutes later, whatever it was, they're shitting it out in the fucking toilet and, popping it open or whatever the case be. And they have them in their celly or fucking, taking it into smaller doses and stuff like that, baggies, whatever the fuck you'd want to do it that way, how you do it, whatever the case be. And then, you just be, whatever kind of drug it is then, you're just dosing it out micrally is what it is then, and like minusculely and stuff like that, so you can make the most profit off of it then to everybody that's in the fucking, cell block then is what it is then. So, it's fucking nuts, dude, is what it is. Anyway. Let's see here now. Trying to see if there's any more about this in this article or not. Yeah, it's 150 people, including 8 corrections officers. Investigation dubbed Operation Skyhawk uncovered that drones were being used to move cell phones, drugs, and weapons into Georgia Department of Corrections facilities, aka prisons. According to the governor's office, the search and arrest warrants were served at 2 locations at the metro Atlanta area. This would have been back in mid-March or end of March there, Thursday of that month. As part of the investigation, it said effectively shutting down a socified multi-state criminal enterprise that included civilians, inmates, and staff. Governor's office in a press release said months-long probe into the alleged drone-based investigation in Georgia prisons has led to the arrest of 150 officials. So among the suspects arrested were 8 Georgia corrections officers, the state said in the statement. That's so fucked up, dude. But again, it makes sense, right? Like, you're getting paid jack shit. Like, why wouldn't you do fucking criminal shit, really is what it is. It's not as if there's not female corrections officers out there literally fucking inmates at that point for like a couple $100 on a fucking prepaid credit card and stuff like that, dude. Or like various gift cards and stuff like that's what it is. Actually, that's one of the things I heard about here a couple years ago. It was I'm trying to remember what the guy's name is now. Like Freedom Inc. or something, I think is what it was. Because he was a prisoner in the state of Ohio for a while is what it was there. And I forget where he moved to now, if it's like Tennessee or where him and his family went though. But anyway, he was talking about this on one of his streams like a couple years back now is what it was. And he was mentioning how, actually the one thing I always hated about that dude was he would do a live stream and instead of just leaving it up and leaving it go for like, a day or two or a couple days, whatever it was, like a week or something, he would have it be a live stream. And then it's either like right after it was finished, he would just delete the fucking stream entirely, or he'd wait like 15, 20 minutes and delete it from there is what it was. So there was like no evidence that ever existed really is what it was then. I don't know if I'm not sure if he deleted it per se or if he just like privated the fucking stream or whatever it was then, but it was really annoying either way. And because you never actually had like proof that the guy was even doing lives is what it was then. So anyway. But yeah, one of the things he was saying there was how I guess it was in one of the Ohio prisons here that he was part of. There was some female corrections officer, I'm pretty sure she's still employed to this day, by the way, who she would get like, it was like $150 or $250, something like that. I'm like, it was usually like 2 cars or whatever they could get there for like things where it was like $125 a piece or something like that. And it would be like roughly like $250 worth of shit or whatever the case be. And she would fuck these guys for like an hour in a broom closet or something like that's what it was then. And it's like, Jesus Christ, dude. And again, like this is again, going back to the whole law enforcement thing there, placing in America is what it is, dude. This is the problem with our country right now. It's corrupt ass individuals getting these fucking positions of power is what it is. Positions of authority is what it is there. And then being corrupted absolutely is what it is there. So I don't know what the solution is to that. Maybe proper vetting, maybe better vetting for that matter. Who the fuck knows, dude? But it's like, I think there's multiple things that could be done, honestly. But yeah, it's just a bunch of shit all the way around, dude. And like I said, it's very fucking infuriating in general. And I really think we're just getting more and more out of control every single day that goes by anymore. So I don't know what the overall solution is, if there's even one for that matter. But I definitely think we're heading towards bad times ahead in this country right now. And it seems like it's getting worse and worse with fucking dipshit cheaters in power right now, dude. Wow. Then, of course, we got the Soros fucking owned ACLU. We're going to leave this off as this going to be the last story of the day. Planning to steal, ACLU sues Pennsylvania to force counties to count fraudulent mail-in ballots. Yeah, go fuck yourselves, you Zionist motherfuckers. Fucking pieces of shit. Fucking Soros assholes. That's exactly what the ACLU is, by the way. It's a bunch of ZJs. So, I'll leave it at that, really. Biggest scumbags on the earth, basically, is what it is right now. They're all Soros fucking funded, scummy pieces of shit, is what it is there, dude. So, anyway. Yeah, fuck that noise, dude. No, the state of Pennsylvania needs to fucking counter the shit out of these people and be like, no, we're not going to count fucking fraud ballots, you fucking douchebags. Go fuck yourselves, ACLU. And George Soros, you fucking sack of shit. Fucking Nazi collaborating bastard. Actually, that's what the ACLU really is, dude. It's not even ZJs. They're fucking literal fucking Nazis, is what it is right now. So. Yeah, I'm just real fucking sick and tired of it, dude. Anyway. Yeah, it's a bunch of bullshit entirely, dude. So. Anyway. That's about where we're at for the day, though. I'll hopefully be back later today after what I mentioned in the stream tonight. So, well, let's all cover freedom of speech there, YouTube. So fuck you. But yeah, we're gonna try to do a Buckshot Thursday tomorrow afternoon before my cousin comes over then. So it'll probably be like 3:30, 4 o'clock my time then. So I don't know if anybody's gonna be able to jump on or not that time, but who knows? But either way. That's where I'm at for the day. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I'll see y'all on the next one. Have a good one, y'all. Stay safe, stay vigilant. Always be carrying, because you never know what kind of fucking nutter is going to come up on you. Especially with that video that came out the other day with the family, where you had these pieces of shit run up on them and try to like shoot them and stuff like that to steal their car, and then you had them pulling people out of the fucking vehicle. Which I don't understand how the hell you're a driver behind the wheel and you're not just gunning the motherfucking car and hitting these people with it. Is what it is, then, dude. Like just backing that shit up right into these fucking douchebags. And then pulling your own gun out and fucking smoking every single one of their asses, what it is then. Which there was, by the way, if you actually watch that video, because I'm not going to show it because of, don't want to get channel strikes on that one, that's what it is then. Because that's show people getting, fired upon and stuff like that. But the whole point is, it's like, you would think, logically speaking, if any of these people had a gun on them that were the adults in the situation, there were so many times during the entire thing there where you had them pulling kids out of the vehicle and stuff like that, and like kids being forced out of the vehicle and stuff like that. There was so many different times, dude, where you could have easily had one of these adults just be like, pop, 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 and just like pull their own gun and just like started smoking these motherfuckers. And I guarantee you, shoot and kill the first one, the other bitches are going to go running too, for that matter, dude. If nothing else, like, you get a clean shut off on one of those guys and it's just boom, right in the back of the fucking head, bitch. And again, it's, no harm, no foul. Dead criminal on the fucking ground then. So, anyways. I don't know, though. Shit's about to get fucking nuts in this country. And, again, right there with Pennsylvania, fucking steal is real, man, is what it is. So, anyway. Don't let them steal 2024 the way they stole 2020. It's as simple as that. End of story. Later, y'all. Fuck Democrats. Peace out.